Hello again, Fairhaven. Administrator Keith Hickey with the latest edition of This Week in Fairhaven for the week ending May 8th, 2026. We had 200 plus people at town meeting. Town meeting members there, I want to thank them very much for taking their Saturday. The town meeting was about 8 hours in length. We had probably close to an hour in breaks. Overall, pretty productive meeting. Most everything that we had hoped would be brought forward to be approved was. Operating budget for the general fund, the water and sewer departments. The town capital plan was approved as presented, as was the water and sewer plans. There was some supplemental funding for Union Wharf construction that we're trying to get finished up. Some other things that were approved, there was the HERO Act, which is updating the exemption amounts for property taxes for partially and fully disabled property owners. So those were adopted as well. The one item that wasn't approved, there was a request to remove the fire chief from civil service. A lot of debate about that. Ultimately, the town meeting voters voted against removing the fire chief. Police officers and firefighters, there's a ballot vote on June 9th for the removal of those individuals, and then the police chief in the fall. Again, just to remind everybody, about 3 years ago, these removals from civil service were all approved by town meeting. They were approved by the unions and the police and fire chiefs at the time to leave civil service for a number of different reasons, and we'll be talking about that over the next 2 or 3 weeks before the election to make sure people are aware of the benefits to the town by moving out of civil service. So overall, a very productive town meeting. The override also passed, so there'll be a ballot question on your June 9th ballot. That question will be to see if the voters support an override of $649,178, which would fund $15,000 in fire overtime, about $100,000 to reinstate the tourism department, $50,000 to reinstate an existing highway position, and $481,000 to provide some additional funding to the Fairhaven Public Schools. So again, there's information on this. There's on the website. We'll be doing some additional informational sessions either through Fairhaven TV or other mechanisms to make people aware of what's going on, what's important for people to recognize. If you're interested in seeing how much it's going to cost you in your particular situation with your property, there is a tax calculator on the website. I urge you to take a peek at that. It provides you the information on what your anticipated impact to your property taxes would be if the override were to be approved. So again, just trying to provide as much information as we possibly can to people so they are aware of what they're voting for and what it means if they vote against it, and ultimately what the costs are associated with that. So take a look at that. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to my office or the assessor's office. We'd be happy to help you out. The Select Board is meeting on May 11th for another board meeting. We're going to continue a public hearing requesting property located at 98 and 99 Middle Street, expand the number of vehicles that can be sold on the property from 2 to 40. It was discussed initially at the April 27th meeting, and ultimately that was tabled for us to get some additional information. We have a presentation on our bike path from Aaron Carr, who is seeking to, I think, potentially at some point request to establish a revolving fund for some of the maintenance on the bike path. We've got a request from Olivia's Restaurant for some outdoor seating, which is, I think, is going to be a great opportunity for people to be able to have a drink or eat outside. So looking forward to that. We've got the use of Town Hall for a couple of events in May and July. An appointment to the Transportation Planning Group. We're asking to have our Public Works Director and Superintendent appointed to those individuals. Considering, we're going to consider an annual RV registration and fee schedule, a flag banner request from both the Belonging Committee for Juneteenth flag and Pride flag in June, and the Fairhaven Improvement Association for a homecoming banner in June as well. So that's our meeting for Monday night. Some of the other things that are going on in town to make everybody aware of. If you've used the bike path this week, you may have noticed that the bike path rail trail project is under construction. Our Public Works Department is repairing some of the bike paths. Some of the bike path is temporarily closed, but we'll be having this project continue throughout the summer. Appreciate everybody's patience as they continue to use that bike path. Something that's coming up on the weekend of, a couple of things coming up on the weekend of 16th and 17th. On the 16th, Saturday the 16th, from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. There's a Marsh Island cleanup effort. The meeting point will be at the bottom of Tabor Street in Fairhaven. This Marsh Island, which is a peninsula, is the largest remaining stretch of undeveloped land along the Fairhaven, New Bedford Inner Harbor. Nearly 25,000 pounds of trash and debris were removed along the shoreline last fall alone. So a really important opportunity to help out, clean up the Marsh Island area. If you have an opportunity to do that, we'd love to have you out there. Appreciate all the different sponsors that are participating in this. Again, one of the things that they're suggesting is don't wear open-toed shoes. You may find needles or syringes that you see out there. You don't want to step on them, nor do you want to touch them. And then on the 16th and 17th, Saturday and Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Fairhaven Village Melissa Spring Encampment is going to occur. Harbors of Courage at Fort Phoenix. The admission is free. It's commemorating the 251st Naval Engagement in our country's 250th birthday. If you have any questions or you want some more details on this particular event, please see discoverfairhaven.org to get that information, or call the town office building. We'd be happy to help you out with that. A couple of other things going on. Candidates Night for the June 9th local elections. There'll be a Candidates Night that will be held on May 28th at 6 p.m. at the Town Hall Auditorium. It'll be covered live on Channel 97 and on fairhaventv.com. If you have any questions you'd like to submit for the candidates to answer, please submit your questions by May 24th at fairhaventv@gmail.com. And please specify which position the question is intended for, whether it be a select board member, planning board member, school committee member, or whatnot. On the ballot this year, obviously, we'll have all of the different elected officials whose terms are expiring. We'll also have an override question. We'll have a question about having the police and firefighters leaving civil service. A lot more information coming between now and June 9th, but just try to remember June 9th is election day, and we do need everybody to come out and vote if they can. So with that, I want to thank you very much for watching. Hope everybody has a great week, and have a good day.